I doubt that there are many YouTube watch reviewers who have never imagined or envisaged designing their own watch brand for release. And for reasons such as time or finances, this never happens. Now for myself, I found myself in a fortunate position to do just that. And for the last 3 weeks, I have spent that time designing and producing my very own watch brand. And this is the Parodee 1958. So let's have a look at this thing. Good day to you all, and welcome back to a very special edition of BBW Reviews. As I mentioned in the introduction, today I am introducing the very first design and release of my own branded watch, the Parodee 1958. So let's have a look at this thing in a bit more detail. Now, before I go into what I think makes this watch, my watch, special, I'm going to go over the basic dimensions. So what I've done is I've designed a pretty standard measurement watch, which is a 40mm diameter with a 47mm lug-to-lug, having 20mm lug width, and let's look at the crown, very small crown since it is a dress watch, a 3.3mm crown altogether, with the strap weighing 32 grams. So a very light dress watch indeed. Now, when I was initially designing this watch 3 weeks ago, I did have a few budget restraints, although I didn't want to compromise too much on quality. And within those budget restraints, I found that I could use some quite special materials, unlike other watchmakers, that does make this watch kind of unique in some special ways. The case itself, I've used a solid zinc base with a coating of what's called soda can aluminium. Then another coating of 100% gold paint, which is guaranteed not to peel for 6 months. If this does happen and the zinc base does begin to oxidize and turn green, then just send me your watch back and I will apply another coating of real gold paint over the affected area. The movement itself is a Jingdang quartz movement, which with the 10-year battery life has been encased in epoxy resin for 100% water resistance. And for more security, the back cover is welded onto the case, so you cannot remove the back cover, and therefore this will give more water resistance to the movement inside. The aluminium circle that you see here is bare, so that you can suggest to me your own message or personal engraving for, let's say, an additional $20 over the original cost. And I will do that and ship it back to you as soon as possible. Now onto the dial. So when I began designing this, my main criteria was to design a dress watch in a minimalist style. So I began with an off-white dial color with applied gold battens, and in between these battens I have printed just simple minute markers in black that I hope gives a clean aesthetic look. The hands themselves, you will notice there are only two hands, again to keep the look down to as minimal as possible, and also because it's a dress watch, and I think a second hand is redundant. So think of it like this: when you're looking down at your wrist to look at the time, what exactly are you looking at? You're looking at the minute hand and the hour hand to check the time. I think you rarely look at the second hand, so I'm thinking, if the second hand is so redundant, let's remove it. Let's just have a two-hand dial. And additionally, when you remove that second hand, you take away the impression of a quartz movement. So in effect, it could be a mechanical movement that powers this watch. And having the watch completely sealed and the case irremovable, you would never know if it's quartz or mechanical. There you go. The handset itself matches the applied gold battens. They are simple stick hands, again powered by that very basic Chinese quartz movement. So being a dress watch and being a minimalist dress watch, there's not an awful lot next to go over to. So let's move on to the strap. The strap itself, I chose a beautifully soft and supple pigskin coated with a layer of flexible paint plastic for additional waterproof abilities. The strap is also guaranteed for up to 6 months from peeling, and once it does peel, I can easily change it for a new one, since the cost of these straps is pennies. Or additionally, I could add another layer of paint plastic over the part of the strap that's peeling, and to have a virtually new strap. And that is if you send me the watch and the strap complete within 6 months of purchase. To the strap I have added 2 keepers, one fixed and one floating. The buckle and tang are made in the finest, again, soda can aluminium, which it doesn't actually need to be that strong because it's a very light dress watch. Again, in pigskin. And actually, even from this distance, yeah, it actually does smell of bacon. That's quite a nice added touch there. Now, one last feature about the dial, you'll notice I've kept text to a minimum. Well, actually, I've removed all text altogether. Now, the text you'd find on a watch that is usually below the 12 The reason I've kept this bare is because of, for the first 50 subscribers, I will be willing to apply your name or logo below the 12 o'clock for only $30. Or you can choose my name, which I will personally write with a ballpoint pen for your added enjoyment of this watch for an additional $20. So there you have it. Now, before I finish, just a quick wrist roll. There it is in all its off-white and rose gold glory, with that beautiful pigskin blood strap. And the profile, as you can see, perfect measurements even for the thinnest wrists. There is no overhang, no gaps under the lugs, and it does seem to mould perfectly along the line of the watch over to the strap and around the wrist. So I think I've designed one watch with a perfect fit there, even if I say so myself. A great looking dress watch in minimal style with a certain touch of class. So there you have it, the Parodee 1958. My very first attempt at a watch under my own brand. And I should say without any bias that I'm very, very proud of this watch, and with all judgments, I can't think of any way I could have made it better, which has kind of given me the impulse to move on to trying to design a dive watch next. But before that, I would just like to dwell on and revel in the beauty that I have created here. And again, this has been all due to the first 50 subscribers. At the moment I have 32, but the first 50 subscribers that have instilled in me the confidence to create a watch under my own brand. So I'd like to thank you all who have subscribed, all those that may subscribe in the future, and once again, I'd like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you all again with another watch on the green chair on BBW Reviews. Until then, take it easy.